Hi, guys. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, so who would like to be the recorder? Rebecca, let's start this.
Well, I think, sure, but I handed it off. Okay. I will ask for a copy of the PDF. One second. BRB. Or do you see him? Is he in the room?
And then he'll
Well,
give it
let
to
him
us.
know.
Yeah, thank you.
Recorder.
I'll watch my email.
Rebecca is gonna be our recorder. It's headed your way, he says, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca.
You bet. That means you all have to do the thinking. I just do the typing.
And ours appears on page 18, I believe.
Thank you. One of my email is empty. I got the email, and it's high importance, but I don't have a link on it. This is an empty email.
You don't actually, I was gonna say. Okay, thanks for clarifying, because you do not actually have an empty inbox. Like you read everything and
Oh,
delete.
no, not even close. I just got this.
Oh,
Super
hi.
important. We have the other document out once I start talking through it while I
Yeah, I
wait.
think I need to read it through
Yeah,
first
let
to
me give
remind myself.
everyone a couple minutes to read through it.
Yeah, but are we doing
Do
it
you
on
have it?
Google Docs? Are we doing it to Google Docs, the revisions?
Yes, so Rebecca will pull it up and share it on her screen when it's available, once she receives it from Adam.
We have the packet.
We have that in our pocket. And it's the one that is for 3B, which if you look on the bottom. You're welcome.
Oh, I shared the wrong one. One sec.
Tina and Rebecca, are you ready to get started? Tina and Rebecca, are you ready to get started?
Oh, yeah, sorry, you're a little quiet for me. Let me turn up my speaker.
Okay.
Right. Yep,
Repeat it closer.
I'm ready for your thoughts.
Microphone.
It was her mic. Okay. Can you hear us okay? Okay, great. All right, so regarding recommendation number 1, thoughts on that first one?
I have one. This is Patricia. I know I was reading number 2 as well, and I know we were looking at, so I'm looking at possibly adding a support staff. So the last sentence reads, or the second to last, to engage in multi-directional feedback and collaborative learning that informs both teacher preparation programs and the assessment itself. And so I thought to add either some kind of like the district support, because we have the teacher prep program and the assessment, but you also have in the middle that district that supports the teacher, whether it's student teaching, internship, or teacher residency, that district's involved somehow, or the LEA's involved somehow. But with that said, I know that we addressed something in recommendation 2. So I just thought to add it here since we had added it to recommendation 2.
And then in that top part there in parentheses, I see e.g.
Yeah.
TPP faculty assessment designers, LEA administrators.
So this is the whole community, and then but to engage in that multi-directional feedback, I feel like there's someone missing there.
Okay.
And I just don't know
Wait,
what the proper word is.
Patricia, I'm sorry, I couldn't see from the very beginning which sentence needed that you were talking about.
Paragraph 1 and the bottom 2 sentences. And I'm actually looking at the PDF.
Oh,
But
right.
it
Oh.
should be the same. So on that slide, it looks like it's like the last sentence. So after teacher preparation program,
In the first paragraph.
yeah, last sentence in the first paragraph.
And just for the sake of easing our communication, I'm going to bring you all closer
And my eyeballs,
so that we can see where you are.
there you go.
Okay. And yeah, if staff can project us and that's easier, we can do that too. So I'm seeing, now I'm wondering if our copies are very different. Tina, do you?
I know, me too. Wait, hold on, where?
Collaboration, system alignment collaboration. No, that looks right.
It looks the same.
In that first paragraph.
And so we have LEA administrators, mentor teachers included there.
But
Yeah.
she's saying towards the end. So where it says both
Informs.
teacher preparation programs.
And the
And
assessment.
the assessment itself. Oh, okay.
So just popping in
I
the
see, I see, I see.
teacher prep programs. Just to kind of streamline those thoughts.
That informs teacher preparation programs, LEAs, and the assessment itself.
That's what,
Okay.
whatever language you guys want to use, somehow I feel like the districts are not reflected in that last sentence. Even though we said it above, I understand. And again, we're saying it in recommendation 2.
That sounds good.
Supporting districts, how do we identify the districts?
Or
I
supporting LEAs. 'cause
LEAs is a
Coming off
good, yeah.
Say LEA.
Yeah,
I think that includes everyone, doesn't it,
yeah.
in the school?
And then we use LEAs, I think, in some of the other language.
Mhm.
And then I just had a question about the second sentence, which was the first sentence of the second paragraph.
Go ahead.
I was just wondering what we meant by that.
Which sentence are you referring to?
The recommendation is necessary because the current practice of involving limited stakeholders in meetings and a unidirectional focus on implementation lacks sufficient stakeholder perspectives and scope of improvement. What were we meaning to say in that sentence?
I think someone shared what type of, that there are convenings, but it's
It's limited, I think, to who's available. I think we were trying, like current, I mean, we all know what best practice is, but looking at current practice, if there's like a disconnect, we would want everyone involved, but the reality of just schedules and things.
I think I remember the unidirectional, it was the was it the test designers just hold workshops and try to communicate to the prep programs how to better understand the assessment. And so that was the unidirectional. Like we're just giving you a workshop to tell you how to understand this better.
Right.
There's no
Right.
collaboration.
And
Would
we're,
it be effective if we just took out a lot of the words and said, this recommendation is necessary because the current practice lacks sufficient stakeholder perspectives and scope of improvement?
that
I'm
seems
fine
to
with
be
that.
more clear.
Mhm.
Everybody's in support of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like the word unidirectional, but
Current practice of what? Statewide gatherings? I think the statewide gatherings are only are they just score trainings or are they
No,
also?
there's some other statewide gatherings, for example, for TPA support that the commission hosts that are held online,
And who is invited to those?
programs and Cal APA coordinators. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's what I meant in programs that the personnel who are involved are primarily TPA
Right.
coordinators or the assessment directors, whatever. Okay.
But I do feel like that's a great first step. But who's bringing in the practitioners that are involved in this work to ensure that they have an understanding?
Yeah, I know. I just want to be sure that we're clear. Like when I read that sentence, my first reaction was not that this was the statewide TPA meetings that CTC holds for the TPA coordinators.
No, it's not. You're absolutely correct, Tina. We're suggesting a different,
No, I know, but I meant when we're saying what's currently happening has to change. I wasn't clear on what the current happening was by the way it's written here.
Got it.
okay, I hear you. Thank you.
I think something to consider too is the high turnover in some districts.
Hmm.
So maybe there's just not as informed. If you have like a new professional coming into a new role, they may not know like these workshops are occurring.
Right.
I know I work in a large district and it seems like they're there for 6 months before they move on to something else. And so it's like that inconsistency of knowledge within programs or certain districts.
Is it clear that it's supposed to be collaborative where it's not just
Hmm.
One-sided.
yeah, they're just, oh, we just need you to understand this better and more people, more stakeholders that understand it, then they'll do better. But this idea that you're involving the other stakeholders because the, CTC or the model sponsor is trying to do better as well. So
Hmm.
it's a two-way street versus,
Reciprocal,
yeah,
like a reciprocal
the
relationship.
idea of it being collaborative.
I think the first sentence says that. Do the bullet points back it up? Is that what you're asking?
Well, when I'm hearing the conversation that we're having, it seems like we're focusing heavily on this being involving more stakeholders for them to help us better understand what the expectations are. And that for me reads as like if we are getting that idea, like it's top down, unidirectional, we just want you to understand this better. And if we can get more people in the room to understand it better, you guys will do better. But
Mhm.
no, everybody needs to do better.
Yeah, and I think we also talked last time about inviting teacher candidates in as well,
Mhm.
having them part of the conversation because they're the one going through the process. And some of
Yeah.
that
And they can
collaboration.
inform the test designers as well. So it helps the candidates, but the candidates can also help.
Yeah. I think it kind of went
The
earlier, we
commission
were
or
talking
the
about like
designers.
feedback on the assessment. Someone asked, like, is it on the assessment itself we want to ask feedback for, or just the support that they received? You know,
Hmm.
know if that exists. I don't know if they actively collect design feedback from candidates in order to revise and then push something out next year.
You say we have 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay, we should move on.
Do we
Okay.
feel good enough about this to move forward? I do.
I
Okay,
do.
all right,
I
that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, I just have one question. Back
Yeah.
up quick. The very last sentence, there's more that comes under the bullet. Oh, no, sorry. Maybe we're in recommendation 2. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
I'm confused by my document.
Real quick, Rebecca, on that third bullet, I just had an adding supporting districts as LEAs. I think is to share effective practices and collaboratively develop strategies to improve both the TPA and its integration to teacher prep programs. I just had in there adding supporting districts since we had added it above.
And that's on the 4th bullet, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess what's the difference between 2, 3, and 4 and 5? Okay, that was all. That was my only little note.
Like LEA clinical experience. Is that
That will work, she said.
Yeah.
okay? Thanks.
I think we should, when we say the TPPs, I think we should spell out what is meant by that acronym just to ensure that everybody understands what that means.
Can we do it for all of the acronyms? I mean,
I think TPA and TPE, everybody understands, but I'm not 100% sure that everybody knows what a TPP is,
Teacher prep program.
the program provider. Right?
okay. I'm going to move forward to number 2.
I had no additions or anything on mine, so go ahead, whoever.
Yeah, that was my only thought, was to spell out TPP, and you've done that, so. Any other thoughts about the second recommendation?
Yeah, the very last sentence in the very last line, and enhance the effectiveness of classrooms where candidates are teaching. I just want to make sure that doesn't read as we're enhancing, we're trying to tell the school what to do to make their classrooms better.
We could fall back to that previous language and enhance the effectiveness of clinical practice experiences.
Well, then I wondered, I think it is both clinical practice, but ideally, if we have very good collaboration, student teachers are going to be a value add to a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's enhance the effectiveness for students.
Instructional practices.
Oh, who are we?
Enhance instructional. Oh, sorry, Jason.
Candidates or the classrooms?
Mhm.
When you say students, do you mean like children or?
Yeah, I meant children.
Yeah.
But I think we mean both. Or what were we thinking with that one? What were people thinking it meant?
I'm thinking, I think I had, I'm not sure, sorry if I repeating myself, but just the instructional practices that the candidates are refining, right? The idea that the TPA is not, it's one of many measures about their instructional practices that they're bringing from their teacher prep program
I
personnel.
like that, Patricia. It was, and enhance the instructional practices that candidates are refining. Is
Okay,
that what you said?
something like that, yeah.
In classrooms,
Yeah, you want
in
to,
their classrooms?
did you get, Rebecca? Enhance instructional practices, credential candidates refining.
Clinical practice?
Yeah, clinical, that's good.
Or you could say in their classrooms. I mean, bring it right back to the schools.
Take out
Because,
the double the on enhance.
Found it.
okay, I'm good with that. Others are.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Is everybody good with that second one?
Just the part where it says strengthening the requirement. What's the requirement?
That TPPs and site-based administrators and teachers collaborate, engage. TPA data review and analysis of the candidates they work with.
That's already a requirement.
I think we meant the one that we just, did we mean the one we just required above?
What's his
In
recommendation?
recommendation one?
I think that they are. I think it is in the standards. But what if we say just, we can take that out, and then if we're wrong and it's in the standards, we can add it back in. It says recommend.
I see site-based administrators, and I wonder if we wanted to just make sure that that collaborative approach, trying to remember now, is being followed. And
I
site.
don't think there's a requirement that the site-based administrators, teachers are engaged in TPA data review. I don't know where that is in any of the standards.
Oh, yeah.
So I think just recommends that teacher prep programs.
And site-based administrators and
Yeah.
teachers collaboratively engage.
That was 5 minutes.
Good job. We could say we're talking about people, not programs. So we could say,
115.
Personnel.
yeah,
But faculty or personnel? I think we used faculty before.
Yeah, I think, yeah, faculty, I think was used. TPP faculty.
why don't we say educators? Just because some preparation, well,
Yeah.
preparation programs include, I don't know, faculty is a loaded word in some institutions.
Oh, you're right.
And
Thanks.
also we have a lot of LEA-based programs.
Like
And I
support
don't know if they
providers.
call their personnel faculty.
Support providers is what they use in my district. A teacher prep support provider.
And we have TCMEs, mark
What are
that, so
What are those?
temporary contract management employees, they're kind of like adjuncts. So-
Well, if we call them educators, teacher preparation
it's all
educators, does that
encompassing.
cover everyone? Okay.
I added LEA in there, but I don't know if it fits. I wasn't sure if site-based was clear to everyone that we meant.
It's hard, and I think I shared this before, but as like me being itinerant, I travel to many different school sites, so I don't have one site. I have more of like a program supervisor over my discipline. So I wonder if that's a consideration we had on whether it's site-based or LEA. It doesn't matter to me, so I know we used LEA before.
And we're talking about the folks at the LEA who are supporting
The educator
the candidates.
Yeah,
That was my question too.
so we can take out site-based.
But we're talking about
Yeah.
people who are getting together here, Jason, are the people who are all working with the same group of candidates. Is that what we're saying?
I believe so. I was.
I think so
recommending that be
too.
more explicit.
Educator and teachers for the candidates they work with. Okay, I just had to finish reading the sentence. Got it. We did it.
We okay taking out site-based?
Yeah, I think that's a good thought to take out site-based.
It's tricky because, they could just designate a district level person who really doesn't have contact with candidates, but everything could be misused.
Yeah, because it says candidates they work with.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay,
6 minutes.
Are we good with the second one? I am good with the second one.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. All right, let's move on to the third.
but
We, weren't we?
on the second one, bottom implementation, we have IHE, LEA, COE. Do we need TPP? And then I spell them all out, or because not all TPPs are IHEs?
I think we're okay to just leave IHE, LEA, and COE.
Okay, perfect.
All right, number 3.
So like being like one of, when you read things to vote on, like putting a little disclaimer, cost to preparation program.
Yeah.
How much will this cost
Yeah.
us? Because the only thing I had noted here is just making sure that individuals have paid time off or support in order to attend these meetings. And I know in talking in other groups, like sometimes subs are hard to find. So it's hard to find coverage for certain teachers.
So this came up yesterday in one of the recommendations, and people were concerned about the use score training, afraid that people thought that was sitting in front of a computer screen as currently score training occurs.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking maybe we say there is a collaborative scoring training process. And then the second sentence, this training is not as extensive, blah, 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 but it engages educators with the process of examining their teacher candidates' evidence or the program's candidates' evidence. In other words, they're looking at their own candidates' work.
After it's been officially scored?
Not necessarily.
Tell me more.
Basically, they're just looking at somebody is engaging them in understanding. Candidate has a TPA that's completed. They're looking at the evidence of the candidate's work and looking at it through the lens of the rubrics and trying to understand what they're seeing in the evidence that speaks to a particular portion of the rubric. In other words, it's a very light qualitative understanding of the rubrics and analysis of the evidence.
Or could it just say a sample?
I think it should be the programs candidates because that does two things. One, it helps them learn the rubrics, but two, it gets them involved
Yeah, could we
in what
say a program sample? Or a sample from their program?
yeah, I don't know if we'd want to call it sample or just sample. To me says it's not real,
Example.
but maybe
You're looking for like,
But it wouldn't necessarily be an exemplar because they,
not an exemplar, but I just want to make sure that the TPA comes from one of their
so then what
candidates.
would you call it? How would you say that?
It engages educator the process examining the program's candidates' evidence.
And
Yeah,
it's
just start
time.
wrapping.
It's time.
Okay.
Wait, I have one, I made a suggestion in the top line. If we swap out training process to overview, so a collaborative scoring overview required for all educators.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like overview.
I agree with that.
And I think
Mhm.
the very last part, we remember we didn't get to finish this, but maybe it's okay just the way it is. The implementation is intended to.
Mhm.
I think that's fine.
All right, and who will present on our behalf?
I already did one today, so somebody
Oh,
else.
me too.
Rebecca.
Alrighty.
It says-
Rebecca did too, so did Jason. I guess that leaves Patricia.
Patricia.
All right,
I'm on the hot seat. All right, I'll do it.
There we go. All right,
Thanks.
thank you so much.
Go team.
Go team.
I am best between 8 and 11,
You timed out.
according to my sleep tracker. I'm at my dip.
So am I, because I ate lunch and I'm like, whoa, I'm sleepy now.
All right, we're on track. Or
Yes, we're on.
on track.